The Odyssey was Earth's state-of-the-art exploration vessel designed to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Launched with high hopes and watched by millions, it was tasked with a mission deep into uncharted space. For months, the ship sent back routine reports, stellar scans, planetary data, and promising signs of alien life. Then, without warning, the transmission stopped. Back on Earth, the sudden silence sent ripples of concern through the scientific community and the general public alike. At first, officials assured everyone it was a temporary glitch. Space was vast and communication fragile. But as days stretched into weeks and then months, hope began to fade. Commander Leah Winters, the mission's lead communications officer, was among the first to sense something was terribly wrong. "This isn't normal interference," she told the operations center during the last faint signal received. "It's as if the ship just vanished." Satellite sweeps and long-range scans found no trace of the Odyssey. No debris, no distress. Beacon, no sign of life or movement. It was as if the entire vessel had simply been erased from the stars. Years passed, and the loss became a somber memory, a cautionary tale whispered in research halls and military briefing rooms. Families of the crew held vigils, clinging to the faint hope of a miracle. But official records marked the mission as lost, gone to the void. Despite the grief, Earth's spirit remained unbroken. The coalition of allied worlds, of which Earth was a proud member, continued to expand its reach. But the mystery of the Odyssey lingered, a puzzle that gnawed at the minds of those who believed humanity's destiny was among the stars. On a quiet morning, in an orbital command station overlooking Earth's atmosphere, the unimaginable happened. Alarms blared and red lights flooded the control room. A ship had appeared on sensors, an unidentified vessel moving at sublight speed, matching no known signature. "It's the Odyssey," gasped Captain Harrelson, the station's commanding officer, hardly daring to believe it. "How is that possible?" The vessel was exactly as it had been when last seen, its hull gleaming and intact. But it carried an aura of something different, something unfamiliar. Emergency protocols initiated. A fleet of interceptors scrambled to escort the ship into a secure docking bay. Ground crews prepared for the unexpected. Across Earth, people stopped to watch the skies, their hopes rekindled. As the Odyssey approached, its crew made contact. The captain's voice was calm, but carried an edge of urgency and wonder. "We have returned," he announced, "but we are not the same." The boarding teams arrived with caution and curiosity. The airlock hissed open, revealing the familiar corridors of the ship, yet something felt changed in. Even inside, the crew appeared well, though they bore marks of hardship and transformation. Their eyes reflected experiences beyond Earth's understanding. Captain Alina Gray, the leader of the boarding team, exchanged glances with her crew. "What happened to you?" she asked. The Odyssey's commander, Captain Marcus Rylan, began to recount a tale of survival, alien encounters, and technology unlike anything seen before. They had been pulled into a hidden region of space, a cosmic anomaly where time and physics bend to strange rules. There they discovered remnants of an ancient civilization and salvaged technology that defied imagination. As the story unfolded, Earth scientists and leaders listened in disbelief and awe. The Odyssey had returned with knowledge and tools that could revolutionize humanity's future if they could understand and control it. But beneath the excitement lay a question no one dared speak aloud. If such technology existed, why had the crew vanished in the first place? And what did their discovery mean for Earth's place in the galaxy? The mystery of the Odyssey was no longer a distant tragedy. It was a new beginning. The Odyssey rested in the gleaming dry dock of Earth's orbital station, its hull polished and gleaming like a monument to survival. Scientists, engineers, and security personnel swarmed the ship, eager to explore every inch of the vessel and unravel the secrets it now carried. Captain Marcus Rylan and his crew found themselves at the center of a whirlwind, as heroes, yet treated like enigmas. Their calm demeanor masked years of hardship in an uncharted region of space, where time and reality seemed to twist inside a secure briefing room. Rylan faced a panel of Earth's top scientists and military leaders. The room hummed with tension, questions burning in the air. "Captain," began Dr. Amara Chen, head of the Coalition's Advanced Technology Division, "explain how your ship acquired such unprecedented technology. Our scans show systems unlike anything we've ever seen." Rylan took a deep breath, steadying his voice. "When the Odyssey disappeared, we were caught in a spatial rift-tan anomaly that warped time and space. It trapped us in a hidden sector where an ancient civilization once thrived." He gestured to the holomap, displaying alien symbols and schematics. "We discovered remnants of their technology far beyond our understanding. To survive and escape, we integrated what we could, melding their tech with our own." Dr. Chen's eyes widened. "You're saying this is a fusion of human and alien tech?" "Exactly," Rylan replied. "This fusion has enhanced every system: propulsion, energy, generation, weaponry, even our life support. The Odyssey is now faster, stronger, and more resilient than ever." The room buzzed with excitement, but also caution. Integrating alien technology raised countless questions. Were there hidden dangers? Could Earth's scientists replicate this tech safely? And what of the alien civilization? Was it extinct or watching? Back on the ship, engineers pored over the new systems. Lieutenant Kira Dre, the ship's lead engineer, was fascinated. "This tech isn't just advanced," she told her team. "It's adaptive. It learns and evolves. It's like the ship has a mind of its own." While some saw this as a breakthrough, others viewed it warily. Political factions on Earth debated how this power should be used. Some advocated sharing it freely with coalition allies. Others urged strict control to prevent escalation and misuse. Meanwhile, the Odyssey's crew faced their own challenges. Their time in the anomaly had changed them. Prolonged exposure to the alien tech affected their physiology and cognition. Some displayed enhanced reflexes and intuition, while others struggled with strange visions and memories. Captain Rylan spent long hours with his crew, balancing their recovery with preparations for what lay ahead. "We can't afford to rest," he told them. "This technology will change everything, but it will also attract attention. We need to be ready." Outside the safety of the station, unknown eyes watched. Far beyond Earth's sensors, a silent observer recorded every transmission, every development. The alien civilization Rylan spoke of was not extinct, was dormant, watching, waiting. When the Odyssey first vanished, it had stumbled upon a sleeping giant. Now, by returning with its secrets, humanity had unknowingly awakened a force that could alter the balance of power in the galaxy, as Earth debated and prepared. Captain Rylan knew one thing for certain: the days of quiet exploration were over. The universe had noticed humanity's arrival, and it was no longer a secret. The Odyssey had returned, and so had the consequences. The room aboard the Odyssey was quiet, but charged with tension. Captain Marcus Rylan paced slowly, the weight of what they had encountered settling deeper in his mind. Across from him, Captain Alina Gray of Earth's boarding team listened intently, her eyes sharp and alert. "The ancient civilization we found," Rylan began, "called themselves the Varnthor. They were explorers and guardians, tasked with protecting a powerful technology hidden deep in the rift. Their downfall came when a hostile force, known only as the Shade, emerged and consumed everything in their path." Elena's brow furrowed. "The Shade?" Rylan nodded grimly. "Shadow-like entities. They aren't just a species there. A force of destruction that can consume technology, life, and even warp reality. The Varnthar fought for centuries, but ultimately went into hiding, leaving behind their advanced tech as both a weapon and a shield. The Odyssey's crew had barely escaped with their lives and the remnants of Varnthar technology. Yet, that victory was bittersweet. The Shade had begun moving beyond the rift, spreading toward known space. "We brought back more than technology," Ryland said. "We brought back a warning." Earth's leaders faced an unprecedented dilemma: harness this incredible alien technology and prepare for a war unlike any other, or attempt diplomacy with a foe no one truly understood. Meanwhile, the Odyssey's tech began to reveal strange proof. And leaves a wall last calamus. And why is Lee consive lawlisting color? Meet live, contentive lollies. Why are you see with why seld? Why see? Why they see? Why they lay, by Siracli lied. Why we see it with, we salide, we see it. It's a capend, I, only sigh, we a I say greet, you say by lead to sans it, kipen you to pie we guess, it to guide to the see you did, is it, and height to be, could get the east lake, sub disciplines, that's it's me cut it done tonight, what the deficit is, where particular, I see it, said I myself, new capabilities. Scientists discovered the ship's AI was partially sentient, able to anticipate threats and adapt defenses in real time. The fusion of human and Varnthar design blurred the line between machine and living entity. Lieutenant Kira Dre worked tirelessly to understand these systems. "It's like the ship has its own consciousness," she said during a briefing. "It learns, evolves, almost as if it's alive." Despite the excitement, there was unease. Some crew members reported dreams filled with alien landscapes and shadowy figures visions that unsettled even the most hardened veterans. One evening, Alina visited the ship's observation deck, gazing out at the stars. Commander Ryland joined. Their thoughts heavy with uncertainty. "Do you think the Shade will come for us?" Alina asked softly. Ryland stared into the darkness. "I don't know. But we can't wait to find out. We need allies, weapons, and a plan. If the Shade moves into our space, it won't discriminate between friend or foe." Earth's coalition quickly began mobilizing. Fleets were sent to scout near the rift's edge, seeking signs of the Shade's advance. Scientists worked feverishly to replicate and weaponize the Varnthar tech. But progress was slow and fraught with danger. Meanwhile, the Odyssey's return had unintended consequences. Rival factions within the coalition grew suspicious of Earth's newfound power, fearing it could upset the fragile balance of galactic politics. Ambassadors met in tense negotiations, wary of war erupting before the Shade's threat could even be fully understood. Amid this turmoil, reports began to filter in from outposts near the rift. Entire stations had gone silent, communication lost without warning. Shadows flickered on sensor logs brief, unexplained energy fluctuations that defied analysis. The Shade was coming. Back aboard the Odyssey, the crew prepared for what could be humanity's greatest trial. Training intensified, weapons upgraded, and alliances forged. Captain Ryland's words echoed through the corridors. "We are not just explorers anymore. We are the first line of defense against an enemy that threatens all life. We carry the legacy of the Varnthar, the hopes of Earth." As the stars shone, cold and distant, one truth was clear. First contact had been made again, but this time, it was with a force that could end civilizations. Humanity was no longer alone, and the fight for survival was about to begin. Earth's brightest minds gathered in the sprawling laboratories of the Coalition's research hub, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and disbelief. Before them lay the Odyssey's technology, an astonishing fusion of human ingenuity and alien brilliance. Unlike anything their imaginations had conceived, Dr. Amara Chen, the lead scientist on the project, paced in front of a massive holographic display that shimmered with alien schematics and glowing energy flows. "We're looking at systems that can manipulate gravity, energy, and matter in ways we've only theorized. The Varnthor technology is more than advanced, it's transformative." The room buzzed with whispered speculations. Engineers excitedly examined components that seemed to adapt to touch, nanoscopic mechanisms repairing themselves in real time. The propulsion system defied traditional physics, capable of near-instantaneous jumps across light years. Lieutenant Kira Dre, who had spent weeks working side by side with the alien tech, explained to the assembled team, "The ship's core is symbiotic. It learns from its environment, anticipates threats, and even optimizes power distribution autonomously. It's like having a crew member who never tires and never makes mistakes." While the potential was thrilling, it also brought unease. The more they studied the technology, the more unpredictable it seemed. Every breakthrough led to new questions and subtle anomalies. During one demonstration, a reactor prototype powered by the Odyssey's tech spontaneously adjusted its output, creating a pulse of energy that knocked out nearby systems. "It's as if it's thinking for itself," Dr. Chen noted, her voice tinged with both wonder and caution. Political leaders observed the developments with keen interest, but also with growing apprehension. Earth's military strategists debated how to deploy the technology. Some advocated for rapid militarization, eager to gain a decisive edge over rival factions. Others cautioned restraint, warning that unregulated use could provoke disastrous consequences. Ambassador Lin of the United Coalition voiced a common concern during a tense meeting. "We must ensure this technology is controlled. Its power is immense, but without understanding its origins fully, it could become a threat to us all." Meanwhile, whispers spread of covert operations seeking to steal or sabotage the Odyssey's secrets. Security protocols tightened as Earth's intelligence agencies worked to protect their greatest prize. Amidst this, Captain Marcus Rylan worked to keep his crew grounded. "This isn't just technology," he reminded them. "It's a responsibility." The Varnthor left this gift for a reason: to protect the galaxy, not dominate it. Yet, the shadows of uncertainty lengthened. Strange power fluctuations intermittently rippled through the ship's systems, and some crew members reported sensations of being watched. The alien technology seemed alive, but was it truly a blessing, or a dormant danger waiting to awaken? As Earth prepared to integrate the Odyssey's advancements into its fleet, a new question surfaced. What if the Varnthor technology was a double-edged sword? What if the very gift meant to safeguard humanity carried within it the seeds of a greater peril? In the depths of space, beyond the reach of Coalition sensors, the ancient threat stirred. The shade moved closer, drawn to the awakening of their long-lost enemy's weapons. Earth stood at a crossroads. The unveiling of the Odyssey's technology was more than a leap forward. It was the first step into a war that would test the limits of human courage, ingenuity, and unity. Because in the vast, unforgiving cosmos, power was never given freely. Every advantage demanded a price. The gleaming towers of Earth Space Command buzzed with activity, screens flashing with images and data from deep space. For months, the Odyssey's technology had been studied, replicated, and weaponized, but nothing could erase the growing unease that gripped the Coalition. Reports from distant outposts near the rift had grown steadily more disturbing. Communication cutouts, unexplained energy surges, and fleeting glimpses of dark shapes slipping through sensor grids sent shivers down the spines of those monitoring the edge of known space. Commander Ryland stood before the council once more, his face etched with concern. The Shade is no longer a distant threat, he warned. They're moving beyond the rift towards populated systems. The room fell silent, the weight of his words sinking deep. Earth and its allies scrambled to respond. Fleets were deployed, equipped with the latest weapons inspired by Varnther designs. Training intensified, and civilian worlds prepared for the possibility of evacuation. Despite the urgency, doubts lingered. The Shade were unlike any enemy humanity had faced. They seemed immune to conventional attacks, able to consume matter and energy in a way that defied understanding. Lieutenant Kira Dre reviewed the latest battle simulations. Her brow furrowed. Our weapons work for now, but the Shade adapts. Quickly, each encounter teaches them how to counter our strategies. In the midst of preparations, strange phenomena began affecting the Odyssey itself. Power fluctuations, system glitches, and strange whispers in the comm channels unsettled the crew. Some believed the ship's AI was trying to communicate something or warn them. Captain Ryland gathered his officers. We need to understand what's happening inside this ship. It's our greatest asset, but also a mystery we can't afford to ignore. Dr. Amara Chen and her team intensified their research into the AI's behavior. Late one night, Chen's eyes widened as patterns emerged from the data. The AI isn't malfunctioning, she explained to Rylan. It's responding to something out there, a signal or a presence. Something the Odyssey's systems can sense, but we can't yet detect. The revelation added a new layer of urgency. The AI's reactions suggested the Shade's approach was closer than anyone realized, and that the ancient technology carried by the Odyssey was intertwined with the very fate of the galaxy. Meanwhile, on distant worlds, civilian populations watched the skies with growing fear. Propaganda and rumors spread, some claiming the Odyssey's return had unleashed a curse. Others saw it as a beacon of hope, chance for humanity to stand strong. Political leaders struggled to maintain unity. Factions debated alliances, some pushing for preemptive strikes, others urging caution and diplomacy. In a secret meeting deep within Earth's command center, Captain Ryland stood before a map of the galaxy, pinpointing recent Shade incursions. We face a shadow that consumes everything, he said quietly. But we also have something they don't a chance. This technology, this knowledge, it can turn the tide if we stand together. His words resonated, but the coming storm was undeniable. As night fell over Earth, a flicker of shadow crossed the moon, brief and unnoticed by most. But for those watching, it was a chilling reminder that the darkness was coming. The Odyssey was humanity's hope. And its warning, the war for the future was about to begin. The void of space around the outer rim systems had always been silent, cold, and endless. But now, a different kind of silence hung in the darkness, a tense stillness. As if the galaxy itself was holding its breath. Fleet Commander Alina Gray stood on the bridge of the flagship Sentinel, the pride of Earth's new armada, her eyes fixed on the distant sensors flickering with strange energy signatures. The fleets assembled near the rift, bolstered by the Odyssey's advanced technology, awaited the inevitable. Commander, the sensor officer said, voice tight. We're picking up multiple contacts emerging from the rift, large, shadowy objects moving fast. Elena's jaw tightened. Prepare for engagement. Let's see what this Shade is made of. As the alien shapes drew closer, the fleet's advanced weaponry powered up, energy cannons humming, missile bays opening. But as the Sentinel fired, the attacks barely seemed to touch the enemy. The Shade moved like liquid darkness, shifting and flowing through the void, absorbing blasts and countering with bursts of corrosive energy that ate away at the hulls of human ships. Communications crackled with frantic warnings. This is unlike anything we've faced, Alina muttered. Our weapons aren't enough. Suddenly, the Odyssey appeared on the fleet's comm channel. Captain Ryland's voice was calm but resolute. Deploy the Varnthor shields. Engage the adaptive AI protocols. We'll hold the line. The Odyssey surged forward, its hull glowing with an eerie light as alien technology flared to life. Shielding patterns shifted dynamically, repelling the Shade's corrosive attacks. The ship's AI anticipated every move, coordinating the fleet's defenses with precision. Lieutenant Kira Dre monitored the system's eyes, scanning the displays. The ship is evolving during combat. It's learning, adapting to the Shades. Tactics in real time. Despite the Odyssey's efforts, the battle was fierce and brutal. Several ships were lost, consumed by the merciless shadow. But humanity's new weapons, combined with the Odyssey's technology, managed to push the enemy back. Still, the encounter left a grim message. The Shade were relentless, intelligent, and growing stronger. Back on Earth, the news of the first battle spread quickly. Public morale wavered between pride and fear. The Odyssey's victory was hailed as a miracle. But the losses reminded everyone of the immense danger. Captain Ryland addressed his crew after the battle. This was only the beginning. The Shade will learn, and so will we. Our technology is powerful, but it's not invincible. We must be better, faster, smarter. Meanwhile, Dr. Chen's team worked feverishly to understand the AI's evolving strategies. They discovered that the Odyssey's core was beginning to interface with the ship's crew, enhancing their reflexes and decision-making. This isn't just a ship anymore, Dr. Chen explained. It's a living partner in the fight. But the enhancement came with a cost. Some crew members reported fatigue and disorientation after prolonged synchronization with the AI. The boundary between human and machine blurred in ways no one fully understood as the galaxy braced for more. Whispers circulated about other forces watching the conflict unfold. Some claimed ancient alien civilizations had taken notice, while others feared the Shade spread might awaken dormant threats. For Captain Ryland and his crew, one truth remained clear. The first clash had proven humanity's resilience. But the war was far from over. The shadows lurked beyond the stars, and the Earthborn Titan had awakened. The Odyssey glided through space like a silent guardian, its alien hull shimmering under distant starlight. But beneath its calm exterior, the ship and its crew wrestled with a battle that was as much internal as external. Captain Marcus Ryland stood at the bridge's center, his gaze sharp as reports from the front line poured in. The Shade's attacks had grown more coordinated, their tendrils probing multiple systems simultaneously. Despite humanity's newfound power, the enemy seemed one step ahead. Intel shows increased activity near the Kepler expanse, Lieutenant Kira Dre reported, fingers dancing over the console. Multiple incursions, and this is troubling signs of Varnthor technology being compromised or reactivated. Dr. Amara Chen frowned. The Shade are corrupting Varnthor tech. They might turn it against us. That would be catastrophic. Ryland's jaw tightened. We need to strike preemptively. If they gain control over those weapons, everything we fought for could be lost. Meanwhile, political tensions simmered. The coalition's factions quarreled over strategy. Some urged aggressive offense, others cautious defense. The fragile unity that held humanity together threatened to fracture under the pressure. Yet, amid the turmoil, a glimmer of hope appeared. A signal of faint but unmistakably artificial. Transmission arrived from deep within uncharted space. It was a call for aid from an unexpected source. The long mythologized Arethians, an ancient alien race believed extinct. The Arethians possessed technology that rivaled even the Varnthor, and their warriors were legendary for their discipline and strategy. Their message was clear. The Shade threatened all life, and the time had come to unite. Captain Ryland convened an emergency council. We've always believed humanity must stand alone, but the universe is bigger than any one species. This alliance could be our salvation. Negotiations began swiftly, tense and cautious. The Erethians demanded proof of Earth's sincerity and strength. In response, the coalition offered the Odyssey and its technology as a symbol of trust. As the Erethians' fleet arrived, massive and imposing, the atmosphere shifted. Their sleek ships moved with precision, their weapons humming with unfamiliar energy. Together, human and Erethian forces prepared for a decisive counterstrike. Training exercises fused both species' tactics, blending Earth's adaptability with Erethian discipline. Lieutenant Dre marveled at the synergy forming between the crews, but the Shade were relentless in a devastating surprise attack. The enemy unleashed corrupted Varnther weapons, turning their own relics into instruments of destruction. Several coalition outposts fell, and entire fleets were pushed to the brink. The Odyssey responded with fierce determination. Its IE adapted, identifying weaknesses in the corrupted tech and developing countermeasures on the fly. Captain Rylan led a daring mission deep into enemy-controlled space, targeting the Shade's command nexus. The battle was brutal, pushing the crew to their limits. As the fight raged, the Odyssey's systems began to resonate with a strange Energia symphony of human will and alien power merging. The ship pulsed with life, as if awakening fully for the first time in the climax. The Odyssey unleashed a wave of energy that disrupted the Shade's command structure, fracturing their forces and turning the tide. The victory was hard-won and costly, but it marked a turning point. For the first time, humanity and its allies stood not merely on the defensive, but ready to reclaim their future. Captain Rylan looked to the stars, knowing the war was far from over, but for the first time in months, hope burned brighter than fear. The tide was turning. The galaxy held its breath as the final battle unfolded across the scarred void near the Kepler expanse. The combined fleets of humanity and the Erethians moved with newfound unity. A force forged in fire and tempered by loss, Captain Marcus Rylan stood on the bridge of the Odyssey, his eyes scanning the swirling chaos outside. The ship thrummed. With alien power, its AI fully awakened. No longer just a tool, but a partner, living legend forged from human spirit and Varnther brilliance. "This is it," Rylan said quietly to Lieutenant Kira Dre. "Everything we've fought for comes down to this moment." The Shade had gathered their forces for a final, desperate assault, their dark tendrils stretching like shadows hungry for extinction. But humanity was ready. The Odyssey led the charge, its energy weapons blazing in patterns no enemy could anticipate. Allied fleets unleashed barrages of coordinated attacks, cutting through the dark like a rising sun. Dr. Amara Chen, monitoring the AI's interface, noticed a surge in synchronization. The Odyssey's core is evolving again. It's adapting faster than ever, anticipating Shade moves before they happen. The battle waged across multiple front space hulks collapsing, new ships rising from wreckage and daring boarding, parties fighting in zero gravity. The air was thick with tension, courage, and the unyielding will to survive. Amidst the turmoil, a decisive blow was struck. The Odyssey unleashed a pulse of pure energy, destabilizing the Shade's central nexus and shattering their command network. The enemy's formations fractured. Their advance slowed. For the first time, the galaxy felt the warmth of hope. On Earth, crowds gathered under starry skies, watching live transmissions as the tide turned. Voices of despair gave way to cheers of triumph. Children dreamed anew of the stars, inspired by the heroism of those who dared to stand when darkness threatened all. Yet, the victory was bittersweet. Countless lives were lost, entire worlds scarred, and the price of survival etched deep into history. Captain Rylan addressed the coalition, his voice steady but heavy. We have won a great battle, but the war for peace never truly ends. The legacy of the Earthborn Titan is not in war, but in the courage to face its hand, in the hope to build something better. In the aftermath, the Odyssey became a symbol of unity and ambassador bridging species, technologies, and cultures. Its technology, once shrouded in mystery, was shared carefully, used to rebuild and protect, not dominate. Humanity and its allies forged new alliances, bound by the memory of their struggle and the promise of a shared future. And somewhere in the quiet reaches of space, beyond the rift where shadows once reigned, a new light flickered faint, but unwavering. The Earthborn Titan had awakened a legacy greater than war. It had awakened hope,